Hello everyone, peace of Christ to all. In this video, it's very important. Actually, I have to make more than one video because those are full of contradiction and you will see a lot of things unbelievable. Chapter 17, number 4, chapter 32, number 5, chapter 22, verse 47. The first one says to us that one day to Allah is equal to 50,000 years, and this verse actually is talking about the judgment day. The other verses, two verses, they are talking about normal days, which mean in Islam there is difference between the judgment day and the normal days. Like today, we are not in the judgment day yet. So one day for Allah is 1,000 years for us in normal days. Now before we go inside and we do like why in here it's 50,000, why in here it's 1,000, I want to show you a very easy contradiction, and we will move on in the videos after to show you more and more and more contradiction. Those three verses, they are full of it, to prove to us that the Quran cannot be from God. Now, if you see in here, if we take any of those 32:5 or 22:47, both of them they are talking about one day to God is equal to 1,000 years in our rocking. And remember, those are not about judgment day according to Muslims, what they are saying. So they are normal days, which mean the day when Allah He created the earth, it was one of those days, because only the judgment day is different. Is going to be equal to 50,000 years. What does that mean? It's mean the following. If we go and read how Allah He created the earth, we will find something amazing, foolish in the Quran. If you go to chapter 41 verse number 10, you will see the God of Islam, how He created the earth and everything in top of it, including animals. And He did finish all of that in 4 days. Trees, water, animals, and by the way, I'm not the one who's explaining the verse. You can go and read the explanation by yourself. This is Tafsir al-Jalalain. You will see it says clearly there that Allah He created everything in the top of the earth, including animals and waters, etc. Everything is alive in the top of the earth was created in that day. You can change the explanation if you want. Go to Ibn Abbas, no problem. Go to Ibn Kathir, no problem. So Allah He did create everything in the top of the earth. And if you look in Ibn Abbas, he is saying to us that those days are equal, as I said, to 1,000 years each one of them. 4 days equal to 4,000 years. Do you see it? This is their book, not my book. Now, so what is the contradiction in there? What is the problem? Well, if Allah He created all the water and the trees and the vegetation and the fruits and everything living in the top of the earth, and this is in 4,000 years, and then after that in verse number 12 and verse number 11 you will see that He moreover He went into the sky, but the sky was a smoke, which means it was empty. The verse number 12 is telling you then He created the light. Which means He created the stars like our sun. So the first 4,000 years there were no sun. Are you getting my point? The first 4,000 years Allah He have no sun for how the animals, how the human they are living. Read with me. He created on earth water, trees, vegetations, and the fruits, and all measures of things. This has took Him 4,000 years. Then all this time the earth was living in dark. This is something very stupid, because if they are 4,000 years, we are not talking about, okay, I created today and tomorrow, you know what, they will have the light. We are talking about thousands of years, 4,000 years. The Quran telling us that there is no sun. And the proof in front of your eyes. Chapter 41, verse number 10, verse number 11, verse number 12. After he finished all those creation, he went to the sky, and the sky was just a smoke, which means nothing there. And then, so he completed them as 7 firmament in 2 days, and he assigned to each heaven its duty command. And we adorned the lower heaven with lights, as you see in front of you. So the lower heaven is the one who have the light only according to Allah, which means there are 7 skies. Only the lower one have stars. And by the way, you might see a video of Muslims about the same verse. They are making this as the 7 layers of the atmosphere, just to show you how liars they are. Because if it is about the atmosphere, the verse saying clearly that the stars exist in the atmosphere only. Do we have stars in the atmosphere? If we have any star in the atmosphere, we will be dead, burned from long time ago. But anyway, not the topic for now. So in here, the most important, that the God of Islam, he's saying to us that trees and animals and everything living in the top of the earth was living without light for 4,000 years. Because as you see, and this is, as you see, Tafsir Ibn Abbas, this is not my words. I'm not the one is making each one to Allah, each day to Allah is equal to 4,000 years. No, this is your words, and Ibn Abbas, one of the best scholars of Islam, even for Muhammad himself. 4,000 years, the earth and the animals was living without heat or any sources of heat. How is that? How is that? There is no way we can believe in such a garbage like that. As long they are alive, it means they are alive and they have to survive. How an animal, he is going to survive to stay out of sun and heat for 4,000 years? Especially if we are the design of God, which we need sources of food, like trees. How the trees will live without sun? And do you know what the temperature is going to be without the sun? And here you notice, not only the sun wasn't exist, all stars, which means it was totally dark. There's nothing. There's no any sources of light. And this cannot be true. This is something very funny, stupid to say. 4,000 years, every creature of God was living without the sunlight. You know what? If the sun stopped coming over the earth for 1 week, we will have a huge disaster. A huge disaster. 4,000 years we have no sun and they are alive. How we can have oxygen? We are going to eat from what? The green, the vegetables, the trees, the fruits, they cannot be trees, they cannot be vegetables, they cannot provide any kind of sources of food, of energy without the sun. Because what those do, they take the energy of the sun and transform it to different way of energy, which it's a food for us. We eat it and we are alive. So if there is a Muslim, he can explain to us how Mrs. Cow and Mr. Donkey and Mrs. Cat was alive for 4,000 years. I'm not going to ask about the human, by the way. Forget about him. The human, maybe Muslims, they can live by battery, no problem. How they were able to live all this time without the sun. So follow with me with the coming video, because I think this one is almost done, and we will go over more contradiction and more silly stuff in the Quran. And those people, they say to you, this is the book of God. It's very clear, it's a book of silly and dummy. Islam made by dummy for the dummy. I mean, see you in the coming video.